Greetings and welcome to Spider McGowan Ports channel. This time, another fantastic Famicom cartridge, Castlevania III, Akumajo Densetsu. Color coordinations are of course for the brown, for the light brown, brown, and then I have blue right here for the blue background, and for, is it Sophie? Or Sophia? Sypha? That's it, Sypha. I've been covering so many video games, it's really hard to keep track of all their names. It really is. I just like, it's just an avatar or a character for me a lot of times when I'm playing these games, but these characters actually have, you know, history, you know, lore, background, biographies. You know, so you got Grant right there, you got, was this Trevor? Or Richter? Sypha, and that would be Alucard. I'm sure it would be Alucard, because, you know, the whole crew for Castlevania 3. What we're doing when we're taking this apart, because the cartridge appears to be in playable condition, we'll clean the contact pads, and I'm going to be very careful about the label up here as I take it apart, because the pleat's right here, and I don't want to end up ripping the cartridge. So I'm going to take it apart, and when I take it apart, I'm going to flip it over so that it just might be a little bit of a crease along here, but then again, it might just come apart perfectly fine. So, yeah, we'll get to it. I got my trusty clamp here. And what we'll do is we will bring it out. And I'm thinking, should I go this side or should I go the other way? I think I'm going to go this direction instead. Let's see if I can go this way or like that. Okay, give me a second here. I'm going to bring the camera up because this is going to get in my way. Now I can see what I'm doing. Are you right where I need it to be? Right where you need to be? Alright, let's see if this way works. Nope. Nope. It has to be this way. There's only one way to open these. It's really crazy. Especially if you don't want to ruin it. You know, you want to be very cautious and careful about taking these apart. Okay, let's see here now. Let's see if we can get it apart now. That one came apart. And just one side just doesn't want to separate for me. Come on. A little bit harder. Oh, yes. Thank you, Billy. Man, these things are absolutely tough. They're just so old and stuff, and they're fragile, and you really got to be careful with it. So, my apologies if that was a little bit, let's say, unorthodox, taking this apart. But, yeah. Okay, I'm going to be very careful here. I'm going to separate it, and then I'm going to pull the PCB out from the actual brackets and stuff. And we'll just be careful about not ruining anything. Oh, at least there's no, you see that? At least there's no screw post there. Oh, that'd be so annoying. But yeah, we're not going to take it apart the rest of the way because I don't want to end up any more of a crease here along the top of the label. And then we could just carefully, as I'm finished, I'll slide the cartridge back in there again. But look at that cart. Out of all of the Castlevania games, the NES version, here, let me drop the camera down. Give me a second. Watch your eyes. I don't want you guys getting sick from this, but let me drop this back down again so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, this one is not even close to as advanced or sophisticated as the NES counterpart. I'm half tempted to take that card apart too so you can see the comparison between the two PCBs. Now, this one's really simple. Yeah, give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, check out the differences between these two. Why does this one have so much more? All that surface area, you know what I mean, like jumpers, all that. what is on this one right here that's not active versus what's on here, because the sound channels on this one still work, right? We'll test it out. We'll check it. But it's like, what did they do differently from this cartridge to this one? Here, I'm going to flip it over so you can see the actual chipsets, so we know what we're dealing with here. This is just absolutely fascinating to me, having their Famicom counterparts, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, this one here just absolutely fascinates me. Like, why was there so much to be, why did this one need so much engineering? I know it's an EL-ROM too, but it's like, with the MMC5. So what does this one have in it? Is it just because of the... Is it the ROM? Is it the PROM? I don't know. It's just, it's very, very interesting, that's all. And I figured at least share the other PCB with you guys as I was talking about it, because it was like, it's been a while since we actually opened that one up on the channel. And sorry, I'm just putting it back together again over here. Y'all kind of admire this board here. I'm gonna flip it over real quick so you guys can see the other side of it. See, that's art to me. I mean, look how much more consolidated the Famicom cartridges are. Oh, yeah, color combinations too. I don't know if I remember or not. I've filmed this numerous times, but brown goes with the light brown, darker brown, and then the blue, of course, goes with the characters. So, sorry if I messed that up. If I did it a second time, you know, oh well. I'm just so thoroughly impressed with these games. Okay, I'm not gonna procrastinate anymore. Let's go ahead and start getting busy cleaning this little card up. Now, I've already scrubbed it some off camera, and I was trying to get it to work in my ROM dumper so I can make a backup copy of my game. And it won't even register at all, period, in my consoles. So we are definitely going to need to clean this thoroughly, and then we'll probably inspect some of the contact pads for continuity, maybe any breaks anywhere in here too. We'll just do a really, really thorough once over. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Let's get this all wet. Oh, Castlevania 3, people. This game is absolutely amazing. And with the rest of the Castlevania series, we're going to work on the Castlevania for the Game Boy next. So I'm going to keep it the Game Boy stuff until I'm done with the Game Boy games. And then I'll start working on the rest of my Super Nintendo or Nintendo. I think I might just pick a day of the week for each console until I'm finished with them. And then when I get more and more games coming in, I'll just add it to those particular days of the week. You know, like lately it's been Tuesday at 8:30, we'll go ahead and cover Game Boy games. And I'm thinking later in the week we can have Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, N64, and the Game Gear, because I have a handful of all these things to work on. And it will give me a chance to reminisce and talk about these older games. But wow, this is not going to shine up too nicely. It's going to be one of those a flat or brushed metal. Yeah, that's what it's called, right? Brushed metal, like brushed nickel, brushed steel, that kind of stuff. Give me a second here. Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry about that. I'm having some serious, seasonal allergies right now, and it's just, so my apologies if I'm going to be pausing this, and it's not going to be jump cuts. It's just going to be pausing the screen and taken care of that off camera. I don't want you guys to have to deal with that too. But, oh man. When I play Castlevania, sorry, I need my safety glasses. But yeah, when I play Castlevania 3, I really don't like picking up the other characters. Let me just put it this way. When you're playing it, and I'm going through and I play as Grant, it's awesome, but he always falls off the wall for me. Like, whenever I'm trying to maneuver him around, he always clings to something I don't want him to cling to, and then he dies. I can't stand that. When I'm playing as Sypha, or Sypha, it's Sypha, right? Or is it Sypha? Sypha. When I play as her, it's so hard. Like your shot is different. Like your shortened distance to actually attack an enemy. Your jump is a little bit different. And then the stage 2 to get her. Oh man, the stage right after that ship. Oh, that ship is just, it's a nightmare to get through that with that character. And then going down and getting Alucard. See, now that's an easier one. Getting Alucard is very easy. But afterwards, his stage after that too, the actual catacombs, it's not hard. It's not bad. It's really easy when he could turn him into his bat form. I think that was pretty awesome. You can get around and maneuver things. And as I was playing the game, I found a few really awesome codes that allows me to start the game as any of the characters. And when you play the game through, of course, it's going to have a script. And if the characters are already on your team or your party, the game's just going to lock up and freeze up on you. But when you start the game as Alucard, it is really fun. You can get around things and do things that you normally would never be able to do. Same with Grant. Sypha, though, it's just like playing Richter all over. You know, it's like, but the magic, though, that she's able to use is just absolutely incredible. It's really helpful. And I found the code set for that, too, so that every character in the game is able to use every character's attack. It's certainly glitchy and stuff. It looks really weird, but it's still that damage and that attack style. And it's really, really cool. I really like it a lot. But what I was looking for is trying to be able to bat form my other characters other than Alucard. And I was able to do something similar to it, but they look really, really weird. It's like, okay, when you're playing as Grant and then you change your form over to Alucard, you go into your bat form, and then you go back to your Grant form. What will happen is that Grant will glitch out and he will be looking like he's doing his attack, but in the air, and it's kind of neat looking. It's like, you know, he's like the bat maneuver. You know how the bat will actually animate? Well, your character animates that same way, or animated that way. But you know what? I'll put it up here in the little corner right here. I'll get this out of the way, and I'll show you right here with the code video going. Yeah, we'll just do that. It'll keep me from having to do all the extra description of it. It is very cool though, and just having and playing these games through some emulation and actually having them on console is just, it's a night and day, especially when it comes to play, because your timings are, no, meat. Well, you do not need to come up on the table for, no. This is the workbench. Sorry about that. I bumped the camera too. Trying to keep her away. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to clean up and I'll be back. And yeah, that little video right there. Okay, I'm back. I'll get all this eraser media off the board. There's a little cat here too. I'm telling you, she gets up on this workbench a lot. And that's why I'm keeping all of my tools put away, so she doesn't get in here and do something she shouldn't be doing. Getting herself into trouble. Okay, so we're getting there. And why don't you guys tell me down in the comments section below whether or not you had a chance to play the actual Famicom version of this, or on the PC, or through the, what is it? The Mini NES? Or Mini Famicom? If the game's on there? I don't recall. I only played my NES Mini a couple times. And then I found out what type of ROM revisions are on it, and I don't like the ROM revisions that they've chosen to put on that console. I found out exactly when I was playing Zelda of how limited the drop rate is on the game, and I was like, that's not Zelda. The way that I played it, which we've already shown and seen, is when we played on the Famicom version of the game, it is so much more generous with the spawning of items, and be it bombs, rupees, whatever, whatnot. And that's what I'm hoping that this one's going to be like too, is where the game will be much more accurate. You can jump a little bit differently. Maybe you can do a jump and an attack that's less cumbersome than it is on the NES version. I've noticed that there are other games that do have these considerations while you're playing them. Enemies have less hit points. Oh yes, there's a huge difference between these games, and if anybody ever had a chance, and that's why I suggest this, pick these up while you still can. Eventually they'll be gone. You'll be like already scooped up by every other collector, and you'll have a real hard time finding them. I mean, right now they're fine because, not many people are actually going out of their way to collect Famicom cartridges. And my suggestion for anybody is try them out on both. Try it out on the Famicom version, and then try it out, or try it out on the NES, NTSC USA version of the cartridge, and then try it on the Famicom, and tell me the difference if you've noticed any. Because, okay, one excellent example of a Konami game that they've done us dirty and raw, like terrible. Like, why would they make it this way? Well, you look at Bayou Billy. Bayou Billy, when you're playing that game, the enemies have a ton more hit points. Here, they have I would say our cartridges, US cartridges, they have a ton more hit points. What else was there too? The road, or the Jeep scene when you're booking it, the street or the road is actually more narrow for us while we're playing it, so you're virtually impossible to get through it. I'm not kidding you. When you're playing that and you're seeing what I'm talking about, oh yeah, you can run right off the road real quick, and it's a miserable game to play. Just put it that way. You're going to run out of time before you even get through it. And that's why I like to see some speedrunners go through Bayou Billy and see if they can prove me wrong on, my consideration of how brutally difficult that game actually is. That's a tough one. It's just, it really is. But when we see the Japanese version, the enemies don't take as many hits. The street is wider. You can get around the corners better. There's just, I don't know, I'm sure that there's going to be like a handful of a ton of other things that would be different in comparison to ours versus theirs. And it shouldn't be that way. I mean, even the manufacturers like Konami, they should have, Konami, a bunch of other notable companies, should have said, no, we're not changing our game for import or export. Well, maybe for back then when you needed to, for discretion, you know, like say statues, things like that in Castlevania, where there's nudity, you need to eliminate that when it comes over to the U.S., which was, I can understand that. That's perfectly fine because they wanted to keep it family, wholesome, you know, that kind of thing. And now when you look at the games on the Switch, yeah, right, Nintendo has definitely changed its motto. Where it's a lot of these, I would say a lot of the games that are on it are not kid style. You know, like kid. You know, like, I would say like elementary level. Where when I was a kid, the most violent game that I've ever saw was Splatterhouse, and the likelihood of me ever seeing it or getting it, I only saw it in magazines. You know, like Electric Gaming Monthly or Game Pro or whatever it is. It was like one of those TurboGrafx 16 games that you will never see. And when you saw it at the actual arcade, it was expensive to play it. Like they really jacked up the difficulty on it too, so that you would never beat even the first level. And if you did beat the first level, it would cost you, you know, like at least $2. I'm not exaggerating. We all know this. These things are quarter muncher games. All these games that have been ported from arcade are meant specifically to steal your lives so that you what? Have to pay another quarter for your game to play. And these things, you know, back in the day, those arcade machines were expensive to run. You know, they were not Energy Star efficient. I can guarantee you that. And then I imagine having Castlevania III on your Play Choice 10? Yeah, Play Choice 10. Oh, I would love to have that. Love to have that upright. That would be just exquisite. Now, when I first tried this out, because I just gently cleaned it with some rubbing alcohol and a cotton swab before filming, and I really wanted to get it to play so I can dump it onto my PC, because I don't have the Japanese version of this game, and I would love to see what that is like and to see if the codes are the same, because I've been going through assembly codes between the two. You know, they're very similar in some, but in others they're not. It's like it's an entirely different region of memory for certain things in the game. Well, here's hoping that this all cleans up nicely and it works fine afterwards. Because I would really love to see what this one sounds like. It's the sounds, it's the music that I really want to play this one at. That's the reason why I really wanted this one, is the music. It's an entirely different soundtrack. Alright, so I'm really scrubbing it more than I normally would, because I really want this to work. And if I have to, I'll go through it, of course. And I'm going to test it outside of its cart shell, too. So that, yeah. If I need to do any more extra work to it. I might have to reflow some of the solder. We'll see. I'm going to clean up. See this on the console. Yeah, that's a weird pack right here too. Is that a resistor pack? It's definitely something. Yeah, if you know what it is, go ahead and tell me down below in the comment section. I'm trying to get that one problematic one right there, but it doesn't really need it because it's not connected to an actual trace. It's just like a blank pin. Awesome. Getting all that years worth of grime from in between the contact pads too, and that's what we're working on right now. Oops, sorry, I got my cat over here. She keeps trying to get into my stuff. She's trying to be the center of attention right now. What do you want? Mm-hmm. Come on, you have food. I cleaned your litter box too. You just want to be my baby? Yeah. Yeah. Give me sucking, everyone. Yeah, I had to give her some attention. She came over and jumped up on my lap and started purring, and she wanted some pets. So I was looking online and scouring through on my sites, and I'm looking for something specific, and it's a buffing wheel, so that instead of using cotton swabs, I can just run it right underneath the buffing wheel and buff all that out and stuff. And I think that would be a really good idea to do. And I was thinking of grabbing one of two things. I was going to check out the Dremel version of it, and then I've seen a jeweler's version of it too, and I was thinking maybe the jeweler's bench polisher would work fine. So you just set the camera up and just have this go right up and underneath it carefully, so I can buff these out. I just want to make sure that it's nice and quiet so I don't have a whole bunch of extra low production value audio. All right, let's go ahead and there we go. It's like, please don't shut off on me right in the middle of doing this. Right? You're like, come on now. All right. This one. I'm going to flip it over real quick and work on this side first. And then when the camera's out of here, I can work on this one here. So, yeah, you get the point, right? Where you get the idea of how I'm just going to go along and touch every pad to its corresponding lead, and then go from that spot to, like, say if this one connects to another lead, I'll go that way too. So that's basically what I'm going to go ahead and work on. Alright, I finished checking the entire cartridge for continuity, and the only pin that I'm having an issue with is just this one right here. Is that one. That one. And it doesn't go to... It flips over the board on the other side, so it goes through like a via or a via. Sweet. Let's put the cartridge back together again, and let's go ahead and play it on the console. See you guys in a little bit. I'm back. Let's play a quick game of Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse, on the Sharp Twin Famicom. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I know I am. So the game played immediately as soon as I put the cart into the console. Yeah. The audio was entirely different. That is not a flea man. I was not expecting to take that much damage there either. It's all good. Just playing it to test it out, make sure the cartridge is working. This one plays different. I like it. awesome. I am not familiar with this version of the game at all. So if I'm going to be taking damage in spots, it's like, okay, so this is just a new game for me. What a huge improvement. Or let's put it this way. What a huge original, authentic feel of the game. Our version is nothing like this. Even the jump seems a little higher and a little more longer. Like, I thought for sure that maybe I would be able to turn around and whip backwards while I'm jumping in the first, forward. That would be very useful. Whoops. I'm also looking at specific background movement animations. I'm just gonna say, man, the colors on this seems a lot more bright, like they pop. That's a very, very violet purple background for the stone. So you don't get caught up on the blocks while you're jumping. It's absolutely fantastic. That's awesome. Let's see how well this works. Oh, come on. Usually when I'm playing it on the other system or the other console, I fall off the edge there every time. Like, it just... like, it swallows me up right there. Like right here. So it's just like... it'll get me right there and pull me right in. Like, every time. Wow. Yes, it doesn't pull you off the edge like the other game does. Oh, here's another one that's just an absolute life stealer. Yep. But I did that unintentionally. I knew that was going to happen. And there we go. That's some dramatic slowdown. That was sweet. Because we all know these Medusa heads really know how to get you. Oh, I thought for sure I was going to take a hit there. Yes! Look at that life, though. It didn't take my life down like it would be crazy-wise. Like 2-3 hits and you're toast. This one, no, it's much more forgiving. You're able to get around and do some stuff and actually have a nice, pleasant, fun game. I knew that this was the way it was supposed to be played. I'm glad that it was set that way, because it could have been like a no right away and then a yes on the bottom. Taking Grant with me. That's cool. Sound effects different. What? He shoots daggers. Literally, without costing hearts. I never knew that. Yeah, like... What? On our version, we get a dagger, it's it. And it's a very short range, and I was commenting about that too earlier. And that's another thing that's pretty annoying, just getting caught on stuff. But... What? He shoots daggers. No wonder why the game... Oh, this game is just absolutely amazing. I think there's an extra life up there. Watch, as soon as they get there, I drop her off the edge or something, you know, like... Yeah, he's gonna fall. There's my one up. Well, I just gotta say is that thank you all so very much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Be healthy, stay safe, happy gaming, everyone. Let's keep going here. Oops.